Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a magic book review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. It is Friday. It is Friday once again, and that is the time when we typically, sometimes, I try to, every now and then, look at a magic book, because I firmly believe that magic books are where it's at. You want to take your magic from here to here? You should start building a magic library. They don't need to be charged. You don't need to rewind them, right? You don't need to fast forward them. You don't need any sort of, marks as to where this falls. It's always available. You can take it camping, take it anywhere. There's no Wi-Fi signal. You can always have a book. And whenever you're looking for that sleight or that trick, or somebody mentions this or that, you'll be able to go to your magic library and find it right away. So, you want to know the secret to being a good magician? Books. You should have some magic books. Today, we're going to look at The Invisible Choice from Thomas Riboulet. This is $70, 270 pages. 270 pages, and it's from the good people down at Three Monkeys Publishing. What is the book about? What is The Invisible Choice? Well, it's a concept, all right? And then within that concept, the book is going to have lots of applications. So they're going to teach you a principle at the very beginning, a very simple principle that you could do with business cards. And then after that, they'll teach you how to take that principle and expound on it and apply it to a bunch of different things. It's two things to me. Like if you were going to ask me just on the side, like, hey, what do you think of The Invisible Choice? For me, it's two things. It's a cross between Magician's Choice and the Hot Rod Force. Let me explain. If you don't know, Magician's Choice is a sneaky technique magicians use to make it look like you made a free choice, when in reality, they've already decided how the outcome will go. Let's say a magician puts two cards on the table and says, pick one. You point to the one on your left. If the magician wanted you to pick that one, they say, great, we'll use that. But if the magician wanted you to use the other one, they'll say, okay, we'll set the one that you picked aside and use the other one. So no matter what you choose, the magician always ends up with the card they wanted, but they phrase things in a way that makes you feel like you are in control. This is kind of what Invisible Choice does, but on a higher level. You're not just taking two cards and saying pick one, right? One aspect of Magician's Choice is the age-old Hot Rod Force. Now, if you don't know, the Hot Rod is a plastic magician's device that has 6 colors, and you just say, pick a number between 1 and 6, and then you Magician's Choice them to the number. Well, here's what Thomas has done. He realized that that hot rod has 6 colors, and so does a dice. So, why not use invisible dice to force your number? Now, you could say, well, what difference would that make? What difference would that make? Thomas has come up with the difference. He's come up with a way to make this completely organic. So you're always going to be able to carry your 2 dice with you wherever you go because they're not real, right? So there's no pocket space. They're invisible. And you're going to say, for any of these tricks that you're about to do, I have 2 invisible dice. And you're going to allow the spectator to name the number on both, or one, right? And then from there, you'll get a whole host of effects that you can do. Hardback book, 270 pages, beautiful layout, lots of cool drawings and graphs. What's inside the book? So, like I was saying, Thomas has come up with this idea that allows you to give your audience what feels like complete freedom in all their choices, but you still maintain control over the outcome. So it's a clever idea that opens up some very powerful performance possibilities. The heart of the book revolves around what he calls the invisible choice principle. And at its core, it's a method that blends a very subtle psychological influence with a very strong audience management. You're able to pull off effects like dead-on predictions, direct mind reading, even gambling demonstrations, all with very little sleight of hand. And what really makes this book stand out is how deep it dives into not just the psychology behind these effects, but the tricks. So you get tricks, and it's all built around how people perceive choice and how we as performers can quietly steer that choice to what we want. You're going to find contributions from respected names like John Kerry, Luca Volpe, Paul Pickford, just to name a few. And I think what gives the material some added depth and variety in the application is the variety, because you get 21 routines, each one built around the invisible choice method. You're going to learn how a thought of card somehow ends up being the only one with a different back. You can watch that even in their trailer. There's one where a card that's seemingly freely chosen but is predicted ahead of time with very eerie accuracy. There's memory style feats and psychological demonstrations. You're going to learn at least 2 different brainwave predictions. You're going to learn a version of Bank Night. You're going to learn a completely new peak system. I believe there's 2 book tests in here, one using Fahrenheit 451 and one using a crossword puzzle. And I think what I appreciated most about these effects is most don't require any setup. A lot can be done on the fly, which makes them great for walk around or casual performances or even formal shows. The material here is flexible enough that it's going to work with cards or business cards or even just really cool mentalism. So fresh thinking, simple, wide range of application, practical advice, highly recommended for hobbyists and for pros. And that's it. That's really it, right? It's a principle, and then you watch that principle get fleshed out. So you could be a card magician, you could be a mentalist, anything, right? And he's going to break this down for you so that you can do this yourself, okay? So let's talk about the negatives. Maybe you're thinking, wow, $70, $70 for one principle. I hear you. I hear you. It is one principle, which if he had made this as a video, he could have taught the principle to you in 20, 30 minutes and charged a lot less, and then not given you any trick ideas, and you could have come up with your own. I think if it had been done that way, this idea would have been lost. You probably wouldn't have used it. You'd have been like, oh, that's interesting. And maybe you thought about it, but then if you ever went to go practically use it, then you would have had to have gone back to the video to find it, right? Having it as a book enables you to have all the charts and graphs, and you need those to visually see it. And plus, you'll need it when you forget or when you want to go back as a reminder. It's not a lot to remember, because again, you're only using 2 dice, right? You're using 2 dice. So if you can add 2 dice, especially imaginary ones, right, you can figure this out. But I think seeing the graphs spelled out, rather than just verbally told to you, right? Seeing the graph spelled out help you visualize it in your head so that when you go to use this going forward, you'll have it down. And I think the more you use this idea, the better, right? Now, I wouldn't overuse this idea for the same spectator, right? Because they'll start to catch on what you're doing. Because it's still going to kind of work like Magician's Choice, right? But a much more organic way to force numbers, okay? Or at least it feels organic to use invisible dice. So that's why I think it's a book. And $70 is your cost for learning this really cool principle that he came up with, okay? Plus it's 3 monkeys and they make really good books and it'll look really cool on your bookshelf. There's several different performance trailers out there of various tricks. Go watch them. Go watch them and see if this kind of thing speaks to you. Big, huge thanks to 3 Monkeys for allowing me to have this book so that I could do the review for you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And if you'd like a shout out in the next Magic Orthodoxy playing card review, if you want to take part in this fun little experiment that we're doing, down below there is an Amazon wish list pinned to the topmost comment. All you gotta do is click that and select any one of the decks of cards I have listed there. I picked out just a bunch of fun decks. There's some magic decks, some other creative decks, things that I've never reviewed before. You just select one of those, gift it to me at the David's gift address, And then whatever you write on the gift receipt, I will say in the video. I will, of course, credit you, thank you for sending it to me, and then read your message aloud in the next Magic Orthodoxy deck review, as long as it's clean and nice and not political, right? We're trying to be fun here. It's just a fun little experiment. I don't even know how long I'll do this, but we'll do it until it's not fun anymore, I guess. So go down there, check out some of those decks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.